The detective's life isn't an easy one, but it rarely lacks for excitement.
I'm gonna try something a little different. I'm gonna try and have my mic a bit farther away from my face when I record. And we'll see how it works. And I am using an Xbox.
Once we got everything in place, we'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid.
It's a flashlight.
Ah!
No.
Too many folks these days count on violence to solve their problems. You only have to look around to see where
So no,
that
I did get
got
up
us.
to level 32. I don't know how to do this stuff. So that's how you do it, okay. No, see, the thing is that this thing has to be all powered on total. So everything can't have its own power system. I've done this a lot. This thing requires a lot of power. So everything has to be hooked up to the same.
Can it wait?
We have to wait for him to finish looking at all this stuff. He has to go to each individual piece and physically look at it. So basically, it's just kind of waiting.
A lot of people out here to use a hand.
Practice with the machine. God mode is on, so I'll just go across this river here. I do have God mode on right now, so it's just so that I can get everything in this game. And let's just spawn in. Let's just do one.
Make every shot count. Doesn't take long.
those things are the worst menace in the Commonwealth.
These things are mutated lizards, right? Just on luck they didn't stay it.
Go.
Any luck finding that locket?
I've got that locket back for you.
You serious? That's great. Whatever the Minutemen...
Hey, you mind keeping an eye out for a second? We've got to run a diagnostic. Whew. Thanks. What'd they miss?
Holy. Hell. I can't believe we got out of there alive. I guess you've got
no
your
accounting
reasons,
for taste.
but that just looks like junk to me.
Once we got everything in place, we'll have to hook it all up to the same power grid.
Commonwealth's a lot bigger than I realized.
There's a lot of people out here could use a hand.
What's going on?
Hey, Sturgis.
You need any help with that, signal interceptor?
Not now.
Commonwealth's not an easy place.
Hope this rain lets up soon.
Always did like the
Everything
rain.
looks good on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Shouldn't we test it first?
I wish we could, but we've only got the one frequency code. There's no way to test it without actually jacking into the Institute signal. And as soon as we do that, we've used our one and only chance. As soon as the Institute figures out what we did, and I gotta believe those brainiacs won't be caught napping twice, That code we've got is useless.
Let's do this.
I'll start scanning for an I'm ready when you are. Okay, hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh. Yeah, we better hurry. And don't worry about that tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration. Okay. Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
Hello? I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean? it really you?
Who are you?
Sean, where is everyone?
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Sean, honey? What do you want me to do?
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me!
Really?
Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S-923, recall code...
Only
Zeros.
opens with a key.
Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's he's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effect. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here... Let's start anew.
This is insane. All of it.
The degree of trauma you're experiencing right now is understandable. Please, just try to relax. I know this is all difficult to take in.
God. All we're missing are the teacups and the white rabbit.
Ah, levity. Excellent. A sure sign that you adapt quickly to stressful environments. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication, it's good to finally meet you. After all this, I am your son.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen in the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child?
Ah, now that's the question. At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in scientific curiosity, and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being, walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you?
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every... I am their father.
And you've...
I have. Yes. I know you must have questions.
Kellogg... he worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
I think I've heard enough for now.
Very well.
Stupid.
The Institute is on the verge of some... I've been a part of something. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with...
Maybe... I don't know. This is so much to take in.
I know. The Institute can provide a better life than anything. You've been in the...
I don't know what to do.
I realize that. I hope that you can see that... I simply ask that we really do have humanity's best interest. Will you take that? Just give it time. The Institute is now your home. You want to introduce yourself to... And finally, Dr. Lee...
Sure.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans.
I'll take a look. Sure.
They were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thanks again.
Is it true Food Supplement 77 has been discontinued?
That is correct.
That was my favorite one. Can't we keep it a little longer?
I will be happy to forward your request to the Bioscience Division. In the meantime, please feel free to enjoy one of our other nutritious and flavorful food supplements.
I want Supplement 77.
I am sorry, sir, but that supplement is no longer available.
Useless machine.
It must make you proud to see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Well, that was productive.
One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
Excuse me, Doctor?
Ah, it's you. You're here then. Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
Don't worry. I promise I won't get in your way.
Thank you, I do appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a courser. You're to be given full access.
Thank you. I'm sure that will come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, in case the significance, if nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust. Now, unless there's something else...
Is everything okay, Dr. Lee? You seem pretty tense.
Yes, things are... It's fine. I'm sorry, I don't socialize much.
No visible reaction to the K-14 compound. We'll start the next trial then. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still. There. All done. You can return to your duties, and remember to record every symptom you experience in detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Welcome to the Institute, ma'am. Be on the lookout for unusual synth behavior.
Greetings, ma'am.
I am seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package upgrades I asked
You're
for.
here.
Maybe
Glad
I should
you
take
made
some
it.
courses with me. You know, send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Doc?
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, acting director of the... I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping... Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit... I'm sure you understand. There won't be any...
Why? Don't you...
I'll be honest. You're the first outsider to be... It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the synth retention. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population.
So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, well, I gather you know all this, since you... In fact...
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than... I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't know. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to it.
I'm good for now. Thanks.
Very well.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
More seriously.
Nothing to report, ma'am.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now. You can resume your duties.
Remember to practice good sanitation habits at all times.
Come now, Alan, it could have been anything. It was probably just a glitch in the nervous system.
We're all looking forward to working with you.
Software could use an update.
If it were just a limb twitching, perhaps. But her eyes were moving as well. Involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what it is.
If you're about to launch into one of your impassioned speeches about artificial sentience and machines with souls, don't bother. I've heard enough of them by now. Hell, I could write them down from memory.
But we can't just ignore the question. If a synth can dream, why can't it have a soul? And if a synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every standard we can measure. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines, so we can do what we want with them.
If you disapprove of the work we do here, Dr. Benet, you know where to find the teleporter.
Now just a moment. I never said that. I'm simply trying to open everyone's eyes to new possibilities.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, not philosophers. You do well to remember that.
Welcome to the Institute. Please step right this way.
We're quite fortunate to have the synths to aid us.
Everyone's excited about the new synth project.
Hey.
So you were there the day the bombs fell?
Excuse me, Doctor.
You've arrived at a momentous time. Our third gen... It's no exact...
What I've seen so far is pretty impressive.
It's just the beginning.
Sure.
Like I said.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Hi, Doc.
They weren't kidding. They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us, if you don't mind my ass...
I guess I just...
Oh, that's understandable. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of... As you might guess, we keep the Institute... We maintain and upgrade all... There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power. The work we do might not be as exciting as... So, now that you're here and you spoke...
I'm just looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Doctor?
They weren't kidding. You really are here.
Sure.
Well, all right. If you don't mind my...
I guess I just...
Now, as you might guess, we maintain... There's a lot of the work... So, no.
I'm just looking around.
I see. If there's... Goodbye.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on Batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
That's it.
Sensor alert. Anomaly detected. Hostile in the zone. Alert level brought. Scanners clear. Perimeter movement detected. Possible stealth unit in the AO.
Got it.
Area not safe. Area not secure.
Gotta find the terminal. I'm through.
Personal record, Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone. Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan, and if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the Coursers can find me. Everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
This is Dr. Elliot reporting for the Bioscience Division. March 22-24. We just received another batch of subjects, but as my previous report stated, we're at an impasse here. More of the same won't help. The two most promising strains of FEV have been adapted to an ideal state, but we're still missing something. I am officially echoing the team's position. The most likely progress for our research on synthetic organics requires new avenues of exploration. A Additional Commonwealth subjects will not help. It's the same problem across the board. Exposure to too much radiation. We need someone new. There's a proposal we'll be putting forward. I am not entirely comfortable with it, but it seems the best course.
Humanity's future is taking root right...
Is someone present?
Is someone present? Hostile sensor reading detected.
Hello.
Movement detected. Movement detected. Curious, where did you go? By order of the Institute, you must be destroyed.
Combat initiated.
What just happened? Here we go!
Engaging hostile life form. Gone. Utilized.
Stand still.
Attacking hostile. Locked on target.
Oh God! Don't look.
Kill you if we have to! Just leave!
I must end your existence. am equipped with the most advanced Institute sensors available. I will find you.
Is someone present?
Movement detected. Curious. I am detecting stealth activity. I was in error. No enemy detected. Hostile sensor reading. I have found you. Calculating most efficient attack. It would appear my target has disappeared. I am equipped with the most advanced Institute sensors available. I will find you.
Scanning. Sensor anomaly detected. Stealth capabilities fascinating. Where did you go? Gone. I must end your existence.